November 25th, 2020. The whole world of sport went into shock. Diego Armando Maradona, the star of the Argentine sky, was declared dead. SSC Napoli Twitter account posted a tweet saying that everyone expects us to react, but now is the time to mourn. It's a time to let our tears be shed. Well, today it's June 2024. Almost 4 years since that day, and maybe, just maybe, we can gather some words as a tribute to the incomparable star of the 80s. Let's roll back to 1988. Stadio San Paolo, when he was warming up in the UEFA Cup semi-final against the German Rekordmeister, FC Bayern München. Live is Life by Opus played in the arena, and Maradona juggled the ball. Maybe we can borrow some lines from that famous song. When we all give the power, we all give the best. Every minute of an hour, don't think about a rest. Then you all get the power, you all get the best. And everyone gives everything, and every song everybody sings. Then it's life. Live is life. It's ironic that this is the most famous video of Don Diego warming up, as there's no better song describing the roller coaster of a career he had. That's how he lived his life. You ask why? How about we watch together? As the nation of Argentina found independence, there were people there from all around the world. Hence, they maybe didn't yet have a strong identity. But perhaps the fluidity of the situation made it possible for their world to be turned completely upside down in a couple of decades. October 30th, 1960. Suburbs of the capital, Buenos Aires. Villa Fiorito, a small city without electricity or sewage. Diego was born that day. Fast forward to 1978. Argentina is hosting the most prestigious sport tournament in the world for the very first time. The national team, managed by Cesar Luis Menotti, who only passed away recently, was determined to keep the golden trophy in the country for more than just the tournament period. It was around the same time that a certain 17-year-old who played for the Argentinos Juniors was all over the media of Argentina. Sure, the star of that team was the 26-year-old Mario Kempes, but Menotti decided to include the youngster in his final squad, a decision that the Federation of Argentina didn't approve of. But Argentina went on to reach their goal and defeated Ernst Happel's Dutch team in the final. But Menotti went crazy with the idea of designing a team performing around Maradona, so he decided to leave his role as the national coach and take up the mantle at youth teams of Argentina to do so. And boy, did he ever do that. Sparkles usually breed explosions, transformations, revolutions. 1979, Japan. FIFA Youth World Cup. Cesar Luis Menotti at the top of the world yet again with Argentina. But this time, the main star was the boy from Villa Fiorito. We can look at this tournament as a teaser trailer of what was promised to the world 7 years later in Mexico. But there's a long way to that date, and we have 3 stops and loads of stories to tell first. 166 matches and 116 goals later for Argentinos Juniors, Maradona reached the peak in his country. For Argentine footballers, the peak is either Boca Juniors or River Plate. Maradona once swapped shirts at full time versus Brazil and stated that, "I even wear Brazil's shirt, but not River Plate." The writer didn't like this sentence. Diego played at the capital for 2 years before finally doing what Pele never did in his career, packing for Europe. Barcelona made an offer for him, and Maradona started playing under Udo Lattek in 1982. However, it didn't go as people would have hoped for in his first season at Barcelona. After struggling with sickness during the opening stages of the season, in a game against Athletic Club de Bilbao, Andoni Goicoechea ruthlessly broke his ankle, and the season ended for him in that very moment. The incident made a nickname for the Spaniard, and everyone would go on to call him the Butcher of Bilbao. At the start of the second season, Barcelona let go of Udo Lattek. Safe to say, the German won FC Bayern their first ever European Cup in 1974. Hoping to get the best out of the 22-year-old, the Catalan club turned to no one else but Cesar Luis Menotti and reconnected him with his starlet at the youth teams. But Barcelona and Maradona weren't meant to be. His final game at Barcelona was 1984 Copa del Rey final, which they lost 1-0 against Bilbao. At the end of that game, the players got into a huge, nasty fight, and the football pitch turned into a battlefield. Maradona left the pitch with his kit being torn. Barcelona decided to transfer him. Let's hear about that from his own words. "I had no money. No club in Europe wanted me, except one. Italian Serie A was the absolute best league in the world for many years, but the majority, or almost 100% of this quality came from the north. AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, Torino, Fiorentina, Roma, Lazio, and so on, until July 5th, 1984, Naples. Stadio San Paolo had 85,000 cheering to death fans to present a player. In the recent movie The Flash, which starred Ezra Miller, Barry Allen said that some moments are inevitable, meaning they happen no matter what in every timeline, in every alternate universe. Diego going to Napoli, Diego setting foot in São Paulo on that summer afternoon, and hearing that first question to this day is an inevitable moment and will be an inevitable moment for eternity. Have you heard of Camorra? Do you know that the money of Camorra is everywhere in Italy, including football? Napoli's media man answered firstly on behalf of young Diego and said that the owner of the club will answer the question. Corrado Ferlano, this question is an insult to me, my player, the club, and the fans. You should be ashamed. As the owner of Napoli, I expel you from the conference. Carlos Salvador Bellarno, Argentina's coach for 1986 FIFA World Cup in Mexico, the World Cup that sainted Diego. I'm gonna go straight to the quarterfinal against England. Not much longer than the Falkland Wars. His face before the game was forged by vengeance, the flames of rage blazing from his eyes, blood boiling in his fires, ready to take revenge for the people of his country in the fairest and most symbolic battlefields existing, the football pitch. But no, a simple win, a mere elimination, cannot and will not calm the years of anger. This game has to be emblematic. It should be referred to in the future. It should free people of their pain. The pain which was caused by losing their families, losing their soils, losing their resources. And oh my God, did that happen. The two nations, for the first time, were battling equally, toe to toe. But then again, maybe not, because only one of them had Maradona. No, it wasn't logical. Yes, maybe the referee and the linesman didn't have a clear view. But in what world, with what means is it possible for Diego to jump higher than Peter Shilton and shoot a ball with his head? The English team, the English people, the English nation should have felt pain. They should have felt robbed like the Argentines had before. Diego cheated. He cheated before the eyes of England, mother of all cheating and mischief in the world. But the thing is, God wanted that. God used his hand. Diego did it purposely, with the hand of God. And if that wasn't enough, it didn't take him long to beat them, roll them in their own blood. Only 3 minutes after God netted that first goal, Diego got the ball in their own half. He started dancing. He summoned his magic, as wrecking as the thunders of Thor, as beautiful as the rainbow, and as fluid as the wind. He ran like the wind. He danced with his lover, dribbling past 6 players, including the goalie. Peter Shilton is defeated once again. Even Shakespeare couldn't have scripted it more beautifully than Diego did. England was not just beaten, it was humiliated. Diego took revenge for his whole country, single-handedly, again in an uneven battle, because even a full squad cannot match his genius. Now that revenge has been taken, it's time for celebration, but for a new cause. The only thing that could have made the nation happier, more than revenge, was bringing the trophy home once again. Last stop, Germany in the final. Argentina scored twice and had one hand on the trophy, but the opposition manager was none other than the greatest defender of all time, Der Kaiser, Franz Beckenbauer. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and Rudi Völler brought their game, and when Die Mannschaft returned to the game, they were just behind, less. Diego said that in the closing moments of the game, I couldn't feel my legs. I was dead. But I suddenly realized, what if the Germans are feeling this too? So he made the assist. Argentina, champions of the world. Football united them, gave them a new strong identity. No, Diego did. Diego Armando Maradona is a champion of the world. Now he returns to Naples for the upcoming season as a new man. A man who reached the peak of world football, who brought honor and pride to his country. But he desires more than this mantle. Italian football and culture in general still looks down on Napoli and the southern lands from above. The contempt is still a heavy burden for the people down there. So a blue sparkle has been ignited. Win after win, goal after goal, battle after battle. Napoli marches on. They beat Juventus and Milan. They beat Trapattoni and Sacchi. Is it really happening? Napoli, for the first time, Scudetto winners in 1987. This is the best moment of my life, said Diego to the reporter. And when he was asked, aren't you a world champion? He answered, they took away the chance from me to win it at home in '78. But Napoli gave me home. This is my home. This is not only the Partenoppi's first ever Scudetto, it's the first time a team from the south has ever won the league. This trophy is for every single person in the south of Italy. Diego has done it all. He reached his own peak. When you reach the peak, the only way to go is down. So begins the downfall. Diego solidified his relationship with the Camorra, with Carmine Giuliano. He got drowned in cocaine, alcohol, and women. Imagine the player he would have been if he had 10% of Cristiano's discipline. Camorra used his naive personality for his fame and their own diabolical goals. The addiction to cocaine gave Giuliano the upper hand. The first time felt so nice, I had to do it twice. At the start of the last decade of the millennia, 1990. Napoli are the champions yet again, but this time, no special thanks to Diego. The drive for the 1990 World Cup helped him to recover a little bit from cocaine, according to Fernando Signorini, his lifetime friend and his personal trainer throughout his career. Grande errore della Federazione Italiana. Ciro Ferrara, Maradona's comrade in Napoli and center back for Italy, said that choosing Stadio San Paolo for the semi-final was a big mistake from the Italian Federation. They should have foreseen that Argentina could be in its game against Azzurri. Never put Argentina in Naples. Never. It's 6 years of my life here in Naples. I believe people know me well by now, and they'll support my national team. I can't ask the Napolitans for anything more than I've asked in these 6 years. He has provoked a fury. He caused a faction. On one hand, this was still Italy. People were Italian. They wanted to win it in their home. But on the other hand, why did they do the opening ceremony in Milan? Why is the final in Rome? People were furious. They said that the North never supported them. It was Maradona who brought them joy and glory. The stadium favored Argentina. The hosts are eliminated. Argentina was looking to repeat history. Germany to take revenge. Italians at the Stadio Olimpico, Rome, booed Argentina's national anthem. Maradona called them bastards. Guido Buchwald jailed Diego the whole evening. And Franz Beckenbauer's genius made Germany the champions of the world again. Maradona left Napoli a year later, and his shining days as a footballer came to an end. Maria, his sister, said that he hadn't lived normally since he was 15. His biggest wish was to play in the highest level in Argentina and buy a house for his parents. He never was an ambitious man. I don't think Diego liked the crowd. In his documentary, whenever he was in the press or in a crowd, his face looked disturbed. But was that possible? In the age when every famous and extraordinary player went to Serie A. In the age when Milan had Baresi, Maldini, Van Basten, and Gullit. Inter had Matthaus and Rummenigge. Juventus had Zoff, Rossi, Platini, and many other stars in the league. Diego chose Napoli because Napoli chose him. Diego was a saint. People worshipped him. Diego was a god to Naples. He was a god to the south. When Napoli won the league, they had a sip of heaven. They had their head high against the north. They had Maradona. There was a banner near the cemetery. You don't know what you are missing. Every wall in the city had Diego's picture on it. His photo was next to Jesus Christ. He was a portrait of a redeemer, a messiah to the Partenopi. Fernando Signorini once said that Diego and Maradona were separated. Diego was a kid with insecurities, a wonderful boy. Maradona was a persona he had come up with in order to face the demands of the football business and media. Maradona couldn't show any weakness. With Diego, I would go to the end of the world. But with Maradona, I wouldn't take another step. But without Maradona, I'd still be in Villa Fiorito. Of course, Signorino was right, but when the ball touched his foot, he beat Diego again. I think Diego helped Maradona make it. When he was on the pitch and he touched the ball, he was Diego again. Diego had an affair with the ball, the purest form of love known to mankind. Diego made love to the ball. When he got the ball, everything else got silenced. He took the ball to the ballet with him. They'd tango all night. The ball got enchanted. One kiss of Diego's gentle touch enticed it. The ball wanted to be with him. It didn't want to depart. Maybe that's why Diego didn't shoot much, because the ball loved him.